us live at 5 this evening, I'm Katie Koppel in for Jessica Bowman. We begin tonight in Northwest Iowa, where residents within the Schaller-Crestland School District boundaries will vote on a ballot measure that would bring upgrades to their local school building for the first time in decades. KTIV's Clayton Anderson spoke to supporters and opponents of that bond, which would fund an over $15 million renovation project.
Walking through the halls of the school in Schaller, Iowa, you can see the building's age. That building next year will host Schaller-Crestland students in 6th through 8th grade and Galva-Holstein students in 7th and 8th grade. If the over $15 million bond is passed, big changes will be coming to the school in Schaller, which Superintendent Adam Basinius says will put the building into the 21st century and provide an opportunity for students and staff.
I think it's important for all schools to try to stay ahead of the game in terms of keeping things up to date.
The project would bring 6 new classrooms as well as renovations to a whole wing of the school. Now the district will operate schools in Early and Schaller, with Schaller operating as the middle school. Basinius says they are not looking to consolidate further at this time and close any schools. He says this bond will set the Schaller school up for the future if any other decisions need to be made.
It's emotional at times when you talk about moving students around and those type of things. They're hard conversations to have, but knowing that you're doing what is best for kids, you're trying to do what best supports the communities involved so that we can be viable for years and years to come.
Chris Mason, a resident of Early who serves as president of the Sac County Economic and Tourism Development Corporation, says he does not think having the taxpayers fund a multi-million-dollar project with a district that has had decline enrollment with students open enrolling in other districts is a good idea.
I don't think that this bond issue is anywhere close to the best for anybody in this situation right now.
Another thing that worries Mason is the potential closure of the Early school. He says the bond is one-sided.
Biggest issue here is that it's focusing on one building going forward. And I don't think that having that one-sided approach is any benefit whatsoever.
The bond will have to be passed by a 60% supermajority because it would raise taxes for residents. In Schaller, Iowa, Clayton Anderson, KTIV News 4.
The enrollment for kindergarten through 8th grade has steadily declined in Schaller-Crestland. Since 2019, the district has lost 28 students.